Ari here. So I'll be discussing to you how to know more about zero user roles. So let's start. So there are 6 user roles in zero. So we're just gonna run through these roles so that you'll have an idea what are these user roles. Okay, let's start. So we have advisor, we have standard, we have invoiced only, user plus draft. We have invoice only user plus approve and pay. We have invoice only user plus sales and read only. So let's discuss them in brief. Okay. For the standard for the advisor role, this is actually a user role which gives a user full access to a zero organization, including advanced settings, manual journals, and all reports. Okay, and advisor role can access bank account and reconcile transactions, create invoice, quotes, bills, and purchase order, access and manage inventory, contacts and fixed assets, run and publish reports including management reports, history, notes activity reports, and reconciliation reports. Set and change lock dates, edit transaction in bulk using find and recode, enter manual journals, adjust fixed asset settings, run depreciation and dispose assets, access all of organization settings, and use the assurance dashboard to monitor the accuracy and integrity of client data. So for the standard user role, for this role, the standard user role has almost full access to zero, with optional access to cache coding and reports. A zero subscriber will have a standard user role by default. So that's actually the default role if you are a zero subscriber. So the standard user role gives a user access to bank account and the ability to reconcile transactions, ability to create invoice, quotes, bills, purchase order, and credit notes, access to inventory, contact, and fixed assets, permission to manage some settings such as invoice, branding, chart of accounts, conversion balance, and files. And then let's go to IO, which is invoice only user plus draft. So for invoice only user role, it gives the user an organization access to codes, invoice, bills, purchase order, and credit notes. This user role may suit an accounts payable or accounts receivable administrator who doesn't need access to bank account reports. An invoice only user won't have access to bank accounts, reports, fixed assets, manual journals, find and recode, and organization settings, pay run, expenses, product and services. There are 4 levels of source access for the invoice only user role. So eto nga yun. So invoice only user plus draft, invoice only user plus approve and pay, invoice only user plus sales, invoice only user plus purchases. Okay, that's the 4 level of access for invoice only user. So each level of access means different permission when creating, editing, or saving transactions in zero. So let's go deeper with this 4 level of access. So let's start with the draft. So only create draft permission. A user with the only invoice, with the invoice only create draft permission has access to the dashboard, business menu, and contacts. The dashboard has 2 tiles, one for invoices and the other for bills, so showing a summary of transaction created and waiting approval. So this menu gives user with this permission and the ability to create a new or copy invoices, bills, quotes, and purchase orders, save transaction they've entered, then submit them for approval. View history and notes on transaction, edit any draft or awaiting approval transactions. However, this user access can't view invoices, bills, quotes, or purchases under orders created by others. Create repeating invoices, approve invoice bills, quotes, or purchase order, pay bills, add inventory items, raise credit notes, send statements, view and print PDFs, send invoice by email or from 0 to 0, void invoices or bills, enter expected payment dates, view or use marked list. So these are the restriction, okay? Users can view list of all contacts added in organization as well as contact details, financial details, and the history and notes for each contact. They also add or import contacts, edit or merge existing ones, or archive contacts. Okay, let's proceed with invoice-only user plus approve and pay permission. So for this permission, for this user role, approve and pay permission has access to the dashboard. Okay. Business menu and contacts. The dashboard shows two tiles, one for invoice and the other for bills, showing a summary of transaction in draft, awaiting payment, and those overdue. So the business menu gives user access to create, copy, and approve invoice bills, credit notes, quotes, and purchase order. Creating, repeating invoices, add user and track inventory, add and use track inventory, print and email invoices, view bills, invoices, and credit notes, pay bills or record payments on invoices. Send remittance advice at the time a payment on a bill is created. And the restriction for this user role, this user can't drill into payment details on an invoice. Edit, adjust, delete, import, or export inventory items. Send a remittance advice from the bank account screen or for both batch payment. So approve and pay user have almost full access to contacts. They can add, edit, or merge contacts, import them in bulk, archive contacts, and send customer statements. If the user has the bank account admin permission, they can add and edit bank accounts for contacts. Okay, let's proceed for the invoice-only user plus sales. So for this permission, sales permission gives a user almost full access to invoices and quotes only. User with this permission would have any access to purchases, including bills and purchases order. So with this permission, with the sales permission, a user can create and approve invoices, create repeating invoices, add and use and track inventory items, add and use track inventory items, print and email invoices, view invoices, record payment on invoices, and a user with sales permission has almost full access to contact, including the ability to add or edit contacts, view a customer contact, financial details, as well as the money in over last 12 months graph. So they can also import, merge, or archive contacts and send customer statements. For the invoice-only user plus purchases, it gives the user almost full access to bills and purchase orders only. Bills and purchase orders only. This user don't have access to sales, including customer invoices and quotes. So a purchaser user can create, copy, edit, and approve bills. Create repeating bills, add and track inventory, add track inventory items, view bills, supplier credit notes, and purchase orders. Pay bills, including those created by others. So for this permission, a purchases user can't drill into payment details in a bill, edit, adjust, delete, import, or export inventory items. A user with purchases permission has almost full access to contact, including the ability to add or edit contacts, view a supplier contact, and financial details, as well as the money out over the last 12 months graph. They can also import, merge, or archive contacts. If the user has the bank account admin permission, they can also add and edit the contact's bank details. Okay, so that's the 4 invoice only user level access. So next, lastly, we have the read only access. For this access, the read-only user role to those who only need to view areas of an organization. So read-only user can add or edit information. Can add or edit information. Very limited. So ang access lang niya. Like, who only need to view areas of an organization. Like, access and limitation of the read-only user role. User with the read-only user role can view, only view bank accounts, only view invoices and codes, only view expenses claims, run and view print reports, print manual journals from the journal report, view management reports, access contacts to view payment history, and the features that a read-only user won't have access to is bank reconciliation, inventory, budgets, and organization settings, including user, chart of account, and conversion balance. Okay? So I hope you were able to at least understand this 6, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 user roles. So if you want to go back on this again, you could just, I'll just drop the link and just review it again. Okay. Next, with that said, with the user role that I've mentioned, you could also add additional permission access. Like for an advisor or user, you could actually add bank account admin. You could add manage users. You could what else? So you have already payroll admin and project. So just these two additional permission for the advisor role, manager users and the bank account admin. Just to discuss. So manage user, an advisor user can invite new users, edit an existing user role, or delete a user with the managed user's permission. This user won't have this permission by default. Okay, it's an additional permission for an advisor user. So it's like a special permission. Okay, it's not something that's already there when you have the advisor role. So there you go. So for bank account admin, this permission gives the user ability to edit bank account details for contacts. User with advisor user role won't have this permission by default. Okay, it's additional. Again, it's additional permission added to your existing role. Okay, if you only need this specific function. Okay, so the reports, if you need to actually access more about more specific reports, this is also an additional permission access 0. Okay. Same with payroll admin, project, new expenses, and submit task. Okay. Okay, we'll be discussing how to add new users in Xero. So first, you have to click on the organization's name. select setting, then click users. Click invite the user, enter the new user's first name, last name, and email address. The email address you send invite to be the user's login email address. 4. Select which feature you want them to access and a user role for each feature. So optional, click add a personal message, then enter an email message. You could include a link to our support article to accept or decline and invite for help in accepting the invite. Then click send invite. The new user will need to accept the invite within 14 days or the link will no longer work. Okay? And then how to resend an invitation to a new user. Just if an invite isn't accepted within 14 days, you'll need to resend the user invite. Click on the organization names, select setting, then click users. Click the name of the pending user, click resend invite. Optional, just enter a message or use the default text and click send invite. Okay, this part is if you want to find and change assigned user role. Like confirm your own user role, check what your user role is for an organization and any additional permission you may have. Like if you're curious about what exactly the role that the client gave me, so you could actually confirm it. You could actually check it for yourself. Just click on your organization name, then select My Zero. In the access column, you'll see your user role for each organization you have to access to. Optional, if your user role doesn't include managed user permission, check who the subscriber is under the subscription column. Contact the subscriber if you need to change your user role. So yeah. And then you also have another what do you call this? Find and change assigned user role. View another user's role. Okay, if you have the standard or advisor user role, see the permission assigned to all the user from the user screen in our organization setting. So just log in to the organization, click on the organization name, then select settings. Under general, click users. Find a user from the list to view the assigned user role and any additional permission they have. And then if you want to change a user role, all you have to do is go again to the organization name, then select settings. Under general users, select a user's name. Optional, if your organization subscribed to project or expenses, select the checkbox for that feature. And if you're a payroll admin user, select or clear the payroll admin checkbox to assign or remove it. So within project expenses or business and accounting, select the relevant user role for the user. In business and accounting, select any additional permission. So then after that, just click update permissions. So let's do some examples. Okay, oops. Okay, let me just hold on. So let's continue. Okay, so here's a demo company, a UK demo company in Zero. So I'll show you where you could find, wherein you could invite users. So here, settings, demo company, and then go to settings, and then organization settings, and then you're gonna find users. So in this part, you could actually invite users, okay? Since I'm already a user here, so I'll just show you what it should look like. It should look like something like this one. You should put you have to enter the details of the person you want to give an access. So If it's John Smith, just put the first name and last name, email, and then just choose the option you want to give to your user. You want to give him or her project or expense access. You want to give him payroll admin access, or you want to give him or her business and accounting access. It's all up to you. And then it's all up to the client, okay? And it's all up to the need of the client. Like if you need to actually access the management report, it's better for you to ask for an advisor role, okay? Okay, but there are clients who will just give you like just for payroll admin if that's the only task that the client wants you to work on. There are times that the client will just give you a read-only access just to view the reports, just to view the bank accounts, just to see what's going on inside like zero, but won't do anything else. So it depends on the client needs. Okay. So I'm just showing this so that you'll have a better understanding of the user role that you'll have, so that you're not gonna reach out to the client and say that I didn't have access on this and this and that. So I think it's better that you have an understanding of what your user role is, and then if you need more access in some areas, that's the time you're gonna reach out to the client, and you have to explain why do you need more access into their Xero account. Okay. So there you go. And then once the client already finalized that this part, it's actually the client who will set up this user access. Okay, unless the client will give you an additional permission to manage users and give users to other bookkeepers or other staff. Okay, so there you go. Just send the invite, and the invite will be sent in your email. So all you have to do is to accept the invitation. Okay, so I'll just show you a user access from a UK client. So here are the current users. So this is a UK client. So as you can see, there are different user roles. So there's an advisor. So there's standard and reports, and there's an advisor, contact bank account, and Xero admin, manage users, advisor, manage users. So this is an example of user roles in Xero. And in this part, you can actually see the login history. Yeah, that's it. So as we end this discussion, I would like you to answer these questions. So once you read these questions, and after reading this question, just drop your answers in the comment box below. Okay, I hope that you get something from this discussion and able to understand user roles in Xero. And see you in the next discussion. See ya. Bye.